The complicated history of Red She-Hulk. Let me explain. The Hulk is one of the most complex and complicated comic characters in my opinion. Not only is the actual character extremely layered, but his comics are also just absurd sometimes. For example, let's talk about how Betty Ross became Red She-Hulk, which is covering about 52 years worth of comics in 2 minutes, so some information will be left out. Betty Ross was the daughter of General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross and the original love interest for Bruce Banner. Eventually, she would be turned into the villain known as Harpy through intense exposure to gamma radiation at the hands of MODOK. She would be cured of this, of course, and eventually marry Bruce Banner. However, it turned out she was dying of cancer due to her constant exposure to gamma radiation over the years. The Abomination discovered this and gave her a blood transfusion with his blood, which made her cancer so much worse, leading to Betty's death. Bruce was not able to save her life, but General Ross refused to give up and turned to desperate means. The leader used a special version of gamma radiation to turn her into the Red She-Hulk, which also filled her with rage and stripped her of her will, allowing her to truly embrace being angry. Essentially, she became the Winter Soldier of the Hulks. Red She-Hulk debuted in Hulk issue 14, where she worked alongside General Ross, aka the Red Hulk, but he somehow didn't know that Red She-Hulk was his daughter. She eventually betrayed her father and attempted to save Bruce from Doctor Doom. However, Hulk's son Scar was also trying to do so and assumed Red She-Hulk was evil, killing her. This reverted Red She-Hulk back into Betty, revealing that she was still alive, but wouldn't be for much longer. Or so we were led to believe, but Doc Samson made her angry, turning her back into the Red She-Hulk. The relationship between Bruce and Betty going forward would be shaky but eventually healed until Immortal Hulk, where Betty was once again killed. However, in this comic, they discovered that Hulks don't actually die, and Betty came back as the Red Harpy, a cross between her two gamma forms. Personally, this one terrifies me, but some people really like it, so I feel I have to mention it here.